Yo, it's Jiles, Vinyl Villain, Mookie Blaylock LP, Album of the Year. You hear it, go or don't.
I'm thankful for them days. I miss my niggas, it won't be the same. They say when a real nigga dies, it starts to pour rain. My cousin crashing at my crib, my mama running out of space. 40 bands in my social stash, in the ceiling safe. My 33rd T, Drew balance, then I'm overseas. 20K for the smack is done, but ain't no guarantees. I ain't say I did it first, but after me, they copied me. Still a street nigga, I'm wearing Air Forces at the
What's good, Do Over Don't, Purple World, episode 77. Today, we got I'm going to give you a Boston legend status because, bro. Brockton.
It's all good.
I'm a regroup, Brockton. But honestly, I don't even like to say Boston in general. I just meant New England. New England culture overall, because you've been a staple. One thing a lot of people that, even when I met you, I wasn't aware of, you're not just an artist. You've been a dude that's just been in the scene in so many different variations for a minute. So that's why I'm giving you the legend status. But Mr. Jiles, you got Mookie Blaylock will be out by now.
Yes, sir.
It will be out by the time this is coming up. But we got Jiles on the pod today. What's good?
What up, Mookie Blaylock, Album of the Year, VB. So I got to say after that.
Yeah. Give them, everybody that's watching this, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably recognize him. This isn't your first interview on the channel either. There was one like 3 years ago that's on here. But just everybody that isn't aware of who you are, just a little rundown on who you are, breaking down your artistry, where people could find you, all of that.
Born and raised in Brockton. One of 10 members of Van Buren Records, rapper. You hinted about it a little bit. I blogged. I was just everywhere. That was just popping early, maybe 2015, 2016. I was there, but you probably would have seen me or noticed me. I was just playing the back type shit. But here we are, 7 years later, VB's been doing some great things, so I'm blessed to be here.
It's been 7 years since VB started?
Nah. So 20, around that time, it was just more like just friends shit, like me, Felix, and a couple other homies. Nobody was rapping type shit. We were just like friends type shit. But VB probably officially started with everybody probably 2018.
Damn.
Yeah, 2018.
Damn. It's been a hell of a couple years, bro. I always talk about seeing growth from anyone from just not the beginning period, but before shit got crazy to an extent. Seeing your guys' evolution before Bad for Press and seeing the build up, everyone dropping their solo projects, and it's just a matter of a fact, when are we getting an album from you guys? Then we got the album, and I was sending you a voice message. I'm like, this whole year, you guys all been on a spree of ever since DSM came out, it's just all shit completely separate from each other. And I fuck with it so heavy because you just get to indulge in the artist. Just having somebody that has a complete body of work just themselves, you get to get that personal element way more. And it's something I've missed from you guys so fucking much, bro, that I didn't even realize I missed because I was so impressed by the other shit. But how's that whole period been?
It's been great. Everybody, sacrificed making that group album. We're not really a group, we're a record label. We tell everybody we're a collective, we're a record label first, group second. So everybody from top to bottom had to sacrifice 2-3 years of just doing group stuff before we could drop individual shit. This is my first project since October of 2020, I believe. So just everybody being able to, because you can only say so much on a group tape. So it feels good seeing Invader drop his album or me finally dropping my album, hearing what E.T. has to say, since If My Sins Could Talk. So everybody's been living the crazy life the past 3 years, and it's just really great to see everybody drop individual music now.
What's the transition been like, though? Because I could assume you were already doing shit by yourself for so long, and obviously, regardless, you need to do shit by yourself. But going from making songs together majority of the time, because I'm assuming that's what you guys were doing during that period, to now it's all right, we're all going our own way. Obviously, we're still together, but we're going to make our own individual projects. I could imagine that's a pretty extreme transition, especially because it was so long. It was literally 3 years. That's the whole time frame I've known you guys.
Right. Nah, it really wasn't hard because, to be honest, it's not I don't know if that's how it comes across online, but it's not like we're making music together every day. We're probably making more individual stuff than group stuff. Even prior to all the individual release, as a collective, we knock out music fast. It doesn't take that long because there's so many members, and all you need is 3 verses on a song. So we could do an album in like a majority of our album in like 2-3 weeks, a month, 2 months maybe at the most, for the most part. So everybody was still working individually, just nothing was being put out. Everybody just sharpening their swords. I'm pretty sure music that was made individually from everybody 2 years ago, they probably didn't make their current albums, stuff like that. So it still gave us time to refine our individual stuff. I know for me, it helped a lot. I think with this upcoming album that's about to drop, I think I take most pride in my hooks and my bridges, pre-hooks and stuff like that. The lyrics are always going to be there for me. I just wanted to make something that was digestible in the hook sense. So when I perform it, it resonates with the crowd.
You know what I wanted? And then I remember you talking about it a while ago, and I never got it. You said something about a Love Jiles album, like a lovey-dovey type of music. Like, what was the song on DSM? Was it Go?
Yeah, Go.
Yeah, like the way you did that, I was expecting that. Because Mookie, anything you want to say about the project, it's going to be out by the time this interview comes out, so you don't got to like hide any details about it. But I got the complete raw side of you, which I was fucking hyped about. But I honestly, from what I heard on the other shit, I was low-key expecting you to go that route where you're going to be incorporating more of the melodic shit. But, bro, the project, I was saying it to Ken. Ken heard something because I played it again.
Oh, yeah, everybody
can
hear it. Everybody can hear it.
Ken heard it on the way, but also, too, like I was saying to you, bro, it's just so raw. Your emotions behind it, you could just tell how authentic all of the emotions behind the music are and everything. Bro, I just want to, normally I ask a couple of other questions, but I want to get into this project because overall production, the way that you coordinated everything, lining the tracks up, cover art, all of that shit, I just love the concept of it so much. So I kind of want to just know where the inspiration came from it, and then also, too, just the whole entire process of building it. Take the mic as long as you want. Do not feel like you're talking too much. I want to know every little detail.
Yeah, so post DSM, it's funny because I think my album dropped the same day as DSM. DSM 1 year is this upcoming. I mean, this is gonna be out by then, but DSM's 1 year is I think September 9th. My tape dropped September 8th. I didn't even realize that. Yeah,
I didn't even realize it was a year ago.
Right. So post DSM, we all knew that we was gonna drop new individual stuff after DSM dropped. So once DSM dropped, we toured. We did what we had to do. It was time to be like, okay.
Can you text Sully and tell him to turn it down? My bad.
That's cool. Everybody was just more like, okay, what next? Who's dropping? All right. So all fall, winter, I was locked in with like Stash, and Old DNA. I was working on a new sound basically. Like Free Steve, this is the last song on my Mookie Blaylock album. That's the sound I was working on. Like, that's my new sound. So I was working on that. I was making some good records, but I was in limbo because it's like, I don't want to wait. Like, developing a new sound takes a while. So I knew I wasn't going to drop anything for another year with that sound that I was working on. So we have a fast forward. We're walking. We was on Mass Ave, just passing out like flyers because we was about to do our show to the public. So we're just passing out flyers, just being fun, getting good content. I see Michelangelo, the producer. He did a collab tape with Bordy. I forgot the name of the tape. I think it was Dead Dogs. But I seen him, and he goes, yo, when you going to do a tape with Villain? Like, because if you know him, he's abrasive. Michelangelo, he's just in your face. So he's like, yo, when the fuck you going to do a tape with Villain? I never even thought about doing a tape with like a solo, just me and the producer, just one producer. So I was like, when am I gonna do a tape with Villain? Because we dropped Juice the year prior, the single, and it did good. He knows my sound. I hit him up like probably like 3 days later, like, yo, let's do a tape. He was like, let's get it. Then, like I said earlier, from there it was easy. Like, I didn't want to make a boom bap. Like, that's no shot to that sound. I didn't want to make that type of album. Like, everything is all drums on this tape. Like, it's high energy. It's a little bit of everything for everybody. So the process for making that album was pretty easy. We did that album in like 3 months, and we had fun. I mean, I think it's my best body of work. I think it's the best album in this state. This whole everywhere, personally. So that was the process making that album.
Bro, the intro, it sets off the vibe perfectly, but we were talking about it in the car. It's like Batman vibes, bro.
Yo, I'm glad you said that. I would tell you, right? So we're making an album. He sent me like the way me and Villain was working. It's like I'll come into the stew, he'll play records. I'll record like a hook in a verse, next song, because I don't want to get too attached. Next song, I'll probably just do just a hook, next beat. So I was laying down a bunch of stuff, and one of the packs he sent me had that beat. And I was like, I swear to God, you said it. I swear to God, I told him, I'll find the text. I said, yo, this sounds like Batman, the animated series. I was like, yo, it was a beat I love so much. I was like, it has to be on the tape. I didn't even want to rap on it. It was like, I just love that beat so much because it felt mad, heinous, and villainy, and just, like, all pun intended. Like, it just was just, like, too dark. I was like, yo, we're going to make that the intro, and we're going to slap some, like a snippet from, like, the police shit. And that was just, like, how the intro just got. Like, I think it sets the tone going into the second track, Quincy Hanley. So all that was on purpose.
No, it set the tone perfect, bro. And all the, like, little incorporations. You had the, like, broadcasting parts. Yep. And then you had the news clips, all of that shit scattered throughout. That shit was fire, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like, going in, so, quick backstory. I always knew I was going to name my album Mookie Blaylock. Like, I'm real visual. And I like to think ahead, and that could be like a bad thing sometimes when I make music. So like when I think of something, I already have themes. Like I already knew I was gonna make an album called that. I already knew what the premise was gonna be. Like I'm the type of person, like, I don't know if it's common, but I write my song titles before I write a song. Like we could just be having a conversation and you could say like, I got a song that didn't make it called East Bay. We were just talking about East Bay magazines. I made a whole song. Right? Like that's how I just make songs, just conversation, seeing things in passing. So with this album, it was just so natural, bro. Like everything just fell into play. Like everything was just so easy because Blue Chips 2 by Action Bronson inspired me. And he does a lot of basketball references. There's clips in it, stuff like that. I was listening to a lot of Wretch Polo Sporting Goods. I was listening to Iron Man by Ghostface Killer. Like I was just hearing great album. So I'll just listen to a little bit of everything while working on this album.
Bro, I could tell all the influences, you saying that, but you kind of just said it yourself. I feel like this project is like core Jiles. It's for the Jiles fans. Anybody that's been a loyal Jiles fan or they've just been a fan at any point of you, I feel like this is just the core. I feel like it really is. I don't know.
Nah, for sure. I was just like, I was battling like eternal like questions before I made this album, because it's one of those things where it's like, okay, this is the sound everybody likes, but I don't want to say I was over it, but it's just more like I want to still develop. I've only been making music for like 3 years. Like I don't think that's my sound. That's not
only 3 years?
Well, I've been recording music since like 2019, 2018.
I thought you were making music longer.
Nah, I wrote, but I wasn't recording anything.
Damn.
So I feel like this sound, that sound is easy. That's easy for me. Like I can, me and Villain probably gonna make more, but that's a walk in the park for me. That sound is easy for me, and I just like to challenge myself. So like I felt like with this album, with the Eternal Thoughts, was like, okay, not that I didn't want to make it, but I was like, okay, do I just do some other shit I'm working on because they haven't heard me in 3 years? I don't want to just throw that in their face, or do I do this album? And I love this album. Like I said, I think it's my best body of work to date. And I'm thankful I did it because I feel like it kind of reestablishes me as a artist all over again, and it showcases like what I bring to the table, not only as a solo act, but also like in the VB umbrella. So yeah.
One thing I want to ask you about too, how you said Free Steve was kind of your new sound. I wanted to ask you about that song in particular because when it came around to playing it, I thought the album was done and I thought it was a different artist. I literally had to check and I was like, yo, I'm like, what? And then I realized it was the last thing. But whenever I piece projects together with individual artists, I always tell them it's good to leave projects off on a cliffhanger. And I feel like you just said it, so now I know. But literally, I was like, I feel like this is a new sound he's gonna go with. What's good, y'all? Thank y'all for tuning in to Purple World. Just a reminder, we got a fresh studio over here. If you guys want to book a studio session, our rates start at $50 an hour with an engineer, $25 an hour with no engineer. Rates do vary depending on which engineer you choose. You can book a session by heading over to the Book Now button in our Instagram bio and book through Square. You can shoot us a DM to figure out what time slot you want, as well as which engineer you want to work with. As a test to see who our loyal viewers are and see who's really rocking with us, if you made it through this whole ad, you could head over to our Square website and you could put code POD10 and that's going to give you 10% off your session. One time use though, you are not able to use that again, so use it wisely. Back to the episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, see, that's why I fuck with you, because you're picking up on things like.
Oh, I'm an investigator, bro.
Yeah, like
I'm an investigator.
Like as for like one of the first posts I put on Instagram for this rollout was like a selfie of me, but I said everything's intentional. So with Free Steve was the last song I recorded.
Yeah, I think it was. I was gonna say
no, the last song I recorded because me and Villain was talking. Free Steve and Feed the Rebel Records, the last 2 songs.
That song is so fire.
Fire.
So fire.
I had those 2 songs. We finished the album. I was thinking about it, but I didn't say it out loud. Villain, like we got good chemistry. He hit me. He's like, I don't think the album's done. I was like, I feel the same way. Send me a more batch of beats. Throughout the process, I was keeping Super, who's on the album, in loop, like just like telling him what I'm working on and shit. And he's like, oh, I mean, that's my doggy, like forever. So he was like, I want to be on the album. I was like, you ain't gotta say that's no problem. Like, so I sent him that beat, hit up Dunny. I'm like, yo, I want to put all 3 of us on this record because we all got collectives, and I think both of y'all are fire. So we did that. Then I heard Free Steve. That was one of the beats. I think Villain sent that beat a bunch of times in the packs. I was like, nah, this is fire. Then I was like, I made the song, and then we were talking like, you know, when you do the sequencing, track listing placements, where everything falls. I'm like, nah, this got to be the outro because it's kind of like you said, like it's gonna lead into my new sound in a sense. So, and a lot of people like that record. I was kind of like, sometimes artists don't know what are their best songs, to be honest. Like, you think you know, but obviously the fans dictate or whatever. So that's a lot of people's favorite songs. It's short as fuck. It's probably the shortest song on the tape outside of freestyles, but I didn't know people were going to like really like that song. A lot of people like that song who's heard the album so far.
No, the whole album overall is fire. Bro, I'm the worst because until a project's out, if people play me unreleased shit, or if I listen to like Cave, you know Cave?
Yeah, for sure.
Cave was an interview before, bro. That was anybody that watched that interview, that you know what I'm talking about. That was the most wreck interview I have ever done. This motherfucker was saying the most wild shit, talking about posting his bloody dick, putting his ex-manager on blast on his story. But he his album I heard the day before, because normally people whose music I don't listen to that much, I'll listen to their shit literally the day before project front to back, or the day of, so I could get a feel for it. But this one, hearing it beforehand, I don't pay attention to fucking song names. like until a project's out, like I don't pay attention to the song names, so I can't even pinpoint which one's my favorite. But like I was saying to you off camera, the one-liners, the storytelling, there's so many different aspects of just hip-hop. Like that's one thing I said to you through the message. And Charlie better fucking appreciate this project, because Charlie was complaining about there not being real hip hop no more. Except for he was shouting out you guys. He was shouting out Feed the Family and shit. There was a couple people he was shouting out. But I feel like you had so many elements of the core roots of hip hop embedded throughout this project. And I want to just ask you, what do you have in mind when it comes to, you kind of just said to me, the storyteller, you never even looked at yourself as that, but even the one-liners and shit, because there's so many, what was the one? Van Cleef's and Aventadors, that was one of them. There was a bunch of one-liners throughout the whole project that just had me like, what? But when you're going in the booth, do you think about that, or does it kind of just come naturally?
Nah, it just comes naturally. I mean, first and foremost, I can't let people get away with that part, what you said earlier about real hip-hop. It's hip-hop, bro. Like, we got to embrace everybody. At first, I was a little tentative on it with the new sound that's coming, but they're just as much as hip-hop as me. Hip-hop's been around for only 50 years, so everything's developing. I mean, I've come to terms with that. There's certain things I don't like there's certain things other people don't like. It is what it is. But I will say everybody is doing hip hop in their own way. So I appreciate everybody. I mean, I still thank you for the compliment, calling it real hip hop. I appreciate that. But I just don't want to let other artists who are doing their thing out there right now feel like they're not doing hip hop.
Oh no, I'm not trying to degrade them.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't you, but just like people. I know a
yeah.
lot of people that real. It's like, nah. I mean, I know what you're trying to say, but I just want to shout out them first. But back to what you were saying. I'm just a student of the game. I grew up with my brothers, my older sister. They were playing music in the house. Like I like to research. I like to learn about music, about anything. Like I didn't grow up listening to fucking Ghostface Killer. That's not my season. That's not my years. But I feel like I should learn to appreciate the album type of thing. Where it's like, okay, why do people think fucking Raekwon's a Purple Tape? Why do they think that's a classic? Why is that 5 mics? Let me listen to it. Okay, I can see it type of shit. Like, maybe it doesn't resonate with me, but I mean, I do. It does. I'm just speaking general. Maybe it doesn't resonate with someone, but you could learn to appreciate, like, okay, I see why. Like, I hear songs like that, and I feel like, damn, like, I know if it was 1996, wintertime, I would be in a fucking Lexus bumping this shit. Like, I know it. So, like, I take pride in that. Like, even, like, bro, like, even on the song Project, second verse, my favorite verse, like, I say, all you niggas jacking on my style, I feel like Spoonie G. Like, I feel like no one under 35 will probably know who Spoonie G is.
I didn't even know who
and it's cool, and I take pride in that. Like, it's gonna go over a lot of people's heads. All you niggas jacking on my style, I feel like Spoonie G. Drug money mixed with label money, like Supreme Team. A lot of motherfuckers ain't gonna know who the Supreme Team is unless
I don't know how people in music don't know who Supreme Team is.
And that's okay. Because I make music for me. Like, I write those verses smiling, like chuckling to myself, like, yo, I'm nice. And, you know, someone who's probably like 20, 22 is not gonna know any of those references, but it's okay. But there's gonna be someone who do fuck with it. It's like, okay, I get it, type of shit. So it just goes to just doing my research, bro. Like, my brothers were playing so much music growing up that I had to learn everything. I had to keep, because I didn't want to be not included in the conversation growing up. Like, I want to voice an opinion, a logical opinion at that. So let me do some research.
Bro, that's why I appreciate it so much, because the same thing. I didn't grow up in that era, but my whole childhood, my dad was one of those just OGs hating on the new sound. So I was just fucking listening to Nas, AZ, Raekwon, all of them my whole childhood. So that's why I was saying, like, the nitty gritty part of it. I feel like a lot of elements from that era, and the references you were talking about, like the Supreme Team reference, that was one of the one-liners I was talking about.
Right.
But what do you feel? I know artists kind of hate this question because it's not like you're influenced in the sense you're copying somebody. But if you feel like there were projects that influenced this project, what are some of those that you would say?
Yeah, for sure. I named a couple earlier. Blue Chips 2 by Action Bronson.
That one you said, yeah.
Yeah. Polo Sporting Goods by Wretch. But those two more of the comedic side of it. I mean, I got a couple one-liners that are hilarious, so I threw that in there, and a little bit of those basketball skits. Like I was saying, I was playing a little bit of Iron Man by Ghostface Killer. After that was probably the main three I was really bumping. Other than that, everything, Bodie James, just him as an artist, current day. He's probably my current day, like, one of my favorite rappers right now. I'm a big fan. Mozzie. Mozzie is the reason why I rap how I rap. Like, he's just as raw as it comes. So those five I named, like, probably played the biggest role on this album.
Jiles Mozzie song would be fucking crazy.
Fire, bro. Fire.
That shit would be crazy.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Like, gonna happen.
That's a collab I didn't know I needed.
Nah,
I need that
pain.
shit, bro.
That's pain.
That shit would be crazy. Yo.
Give us a sample and it's a rap, bro.
Bro, I need that shit. I was about to ask you, though, this question you're probably going to be stumped on a little bit, but anybody that's true music people, I like asking. Top 5 projects of all time. If you had to say that influence you the most, that you just appreciate personally the most.
Pimp a Butterfly. Kendrick's my favorite rapper ever. It's Pimp a Butterfly. Aquemini by Outkast. Volume 3 by Jay-Z.
Volume 2?
Nah, a lot of people give you that look when I say Volume 3. Like, really? Is like, nah, I think that's his best rapping. Like, rapping. And there's some commercial records in there as well. But, yeah. So, them 3. What else am out? Those are usually my 3. Then I throw in, like, The Miseducation. I really love that album. That's not hip. I don't know why people call it a rap album. It's an R&B album, but throw that in there. Man. There's so many great albums, bro. Lord Willing. Nah, not even Lord Willing. Hell Have No Fury by the Clips. Saba's Care For Me. Just everything VB's made. Yeah, those are probably my favorites.
No Nas in there. I'm always.
Oh, no, Illmatic. Illmatic will be it for sure. His back catalog, I think, is amazing. Like the stuff he's been making now is amazing. The first Magic's my favorite out of all the ones he did so far the past couple of years.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't even know which one is my favorite out of all the recent ones. I don't even know, but Illmatic, I always try to argue with people that Illmatic's the best rap album of all time.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, back to what we were saying earlier, I think, like, as a young person, these young kids or just anybody who's not familiar with Nas should at least listen. That's what I was saying. People should at least want to listen to it. Like, why do you think people revere that as the album of all time? If the aliens came to Earth and said, what's hip-hop? Why would you give them Illmatic as the first listen? You should want to just try to understand. Even if you don't understand, just learn to appreciate what that evolved into with hip-hop. So, Illmatic's a classic.
Definitely. I feel like there's so many albums that wouldn't be an album if Illmatic never dropped.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely. How do you feel like overall, though? Because I'm very surprised that you've only been making music for 3 years. I don't know why I thought you were making it longer.
4 years, I guess, 2019.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But overall, sound development, you going in the booth for the first time. Obviously, you said you wrote down your bars, but writing down your bars versus jumping in the booth for the first time is a huge difference. How do you feel like you just got your sound down? And what are the key elements that you think contributed to your growth?
The biggest key element was VB. Because you got people like Luke, Meech, Felix. I feel like Meech comes from just like freestyling. He was always just a freestyle person. Luke just embodies hip hop to like its core sense. Like, he's just hip hop all the way. And Felix, me and Felix been together forever, so he was like the first artist in a sense that was like making some splash locally in Brockton. And I wasn't really rapping like that, so just like trying to keep up with all 3 of them. Like, this is even before E.T. now, before E.T. came, or Vader, so.
Biko. Right.
Shout out E.T. But so I was just like, man, I gotta, like, you get around VB, you just get better because you have to get better. Everybody's just challenging everybody, especially the early stage when everybody was together every day in the studio every day at your own session. Even if you're having a studio session with your own individual stuff, motherfuckers still pull up. But I think they helped me without even helping me get better. Then just, having the studio so convenient to you. Luke Studio's right there, so I'm afforded the luxury to, like, can we swear?
Yeah.
I'm afforded the luxury to fuck up. Like, I can make a trash record and not feel bad. Like, that's one of the hard things about being an artist too. If you don't have a studio and you got to pay, I don't know, like $60 an hour, you're not afforded the luxury to make a trash record. Like, you really got to make those hours count, your money count. So luckily with the studio we have, I had to pay. So it's like, okay, I can do 4 hours of trash and just, all right, the next day I'll do something else. So just putting my reps in like sports, you put in your 10,000 hours in, and I'll just make you get better.
I'm going to ask you this because so many artists talk about that. The artists that are actually on their shit, I'm going to rephrase that for anybody watching. The artists that are on their shit, they all talk about the reps, they all talk about the work, and the fact that it just takes time. Nowadays, I'm sure you see it, the music industry, you have so many people that just want to come in and they want to cut corners. They think they can buy their way around everything. Right. Think they're going to get in the studio, they're going to make one song, and it's just going to blow up. But what's your thoughts on that whole entire cutting corners? Anybody that's sitting there watching this that they think they could cut corners in this music shit?
Yeah, man, you can't cut corners. You just can't. I mean, unless you're like that 1%, you could probably cut some corners and get there. But if you're just like everybody else, small market city, not even small market anymore, all this music coming out streaming, it's like, yeah, you just can't afford to cut corners because it's going to catch up. Like, you want to put the legwork in. Like, making music is the easiest part. That's what I tell everybody. If you're a musician and you make music, it's easy. It's everything. Not making music is a hard part. Like, you got to go out there. You got to network. You got to put your face on social media, whether that's your Instagram, your Twitter, your TikTok, your YouTube, Twitch, whatever. Like, you got to do that. You got to have a team behind you that really believes in you. You got to be creative. And if you're not creative, you better have some friends who are creative. Like, you just got to have a brand. Like, you're a brand. Like, that's the word. Like, fuck being an artist. You're a brand. Like, how are you going to sell your brand for people to believe in you? So with cutting corners, you can't cut corners when you're creating a brand. Like, people ain't stupid. Like, you could see who's, come on, man. Like, we can see. It's not, we can see who's, and even then, it's not even cutting corners that bother me. It's just the people who just don't take it serious type of thing. Like, fuck cutting corners. Why are you dropping your first single at 9 p.m. on a Saturday? It's like, bro, like, what the fuck you doing, bro? Like, and you then follow up with, I don't know, subtweeting or something, like, no one's listening to you. And it's like, bro, you dropped this 9 p.m. on a Sunday, bro. Like, college football's on, bro. Like, niggas is going out. Like, it be shit like that. That's kind of corners to me. Just doing dumb shit and expecting results right away, bro. Like that's crazy.
Talking about that, the importance of marketing overall, because with that, the way you're talking about that, they won't only do that. On top of that, that will be the only time they post it. There's no afterwards, oh, yo, keep streaming my song. There's no beforehand building up to it. It's just literally, yo, just decided to drop a song.
Right.
And then that's it. But did you ever have any moments like that where you kind of fucked up marketing-wise? And what do you think you would advise people to do if they're dropping a song?
I mean, everybody fucks up. There's been times where, like, I wouldn't say fuck up marketing-wise. I mean, there've been certain, you can't predict anything. You know, it could be, I don't know, you could be ready to drop something, then you realize you misspelled the cover art wrong or something. Like, you can prevent things like that. But marketing-wise, I don't look at it for me personally because I feel like I do a good job in marketing. There's things I could work on. Like, even you said, like, I should be posting my music as much as I can type of thing. Whether, like, even if I dropped it 3 months ago, I could still be like, put on my story or tweet it or slice it up, put on fucking TikTok or whatever. There's always, you can never not promote your music. Yeah. So, like, yeah, I think I fall victim to that too. I don't promote as much as I should. But like I said, as far as the advice goes, it's just like, you gotta I think what it is we fall victim to seeing other people's success and think that's how it's supposed to be. They show us what they want us to see. Like, you see one of your favorite artists just drop tomorrow. It's like, yeah, they're afforded the luxury to do that because they got backing behind them. They got a label. They got a distro deal. You're not them, bro. Like, you can't just wake up and say, oh, I'm dropping tomorrow and think everybody's going to stop what they're doing. Like, you should have a plan. Like, you should have, before you even drop your record, you should already think 4 weeks. Like, before you get everything in order, then drop it in 4 weeks. Like, it should be like that type of thing if you really want to take it serious. Oh, but that's not even the go-to thing either. That doesn't, my word ain't law either. There's other ways you could do it, but ideally, I like to just do everything first, then when it's ready, I could drop it. I want to have my videos already done. I want to have the marketing ready, the merch ready, how I want to roll it out ready before I drop it. And I think, I mean, as an artist who's, these artists coming up with no distro deal, no label deal, you're afforded the luxury to just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. So like I said, my word ain't law. But as time gets greater and your music starts to get more buzzing, you want to at least have a plan behind it. Yeah. Type of shit.
Definitely. I feel like you don't post it, like, you're not the type all the time where you're like, go stream my music. But overall, rollout wise and stuff, anytime that you drop something, it's apparent that you're dropping. Like, I'll know like 3-4 weeks ahead, the way that you were just saying. I feel like you're very good at just constructing rollouts for the whole period. There's like a 2-month period, the month before and the month after something comes out. I feel like it's just in my face constantly. At least once a week, I'm seeing it, even multiple times a week.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's just, I take enjoyment in that. Like, making music, like, that's not the best part for me. I don't have the most fun making, I mean, I have fun making music, but showing my creativity is where I have the most fun. Like, showing you, like, yo, I wrote the treatment for this music video. I co-directed this music video.
I want to ask you about that separately.
Thank you. Like, me, Michelle, and Lenny, who are part of my creative team, we decided to come up with the merch, the Kobe Fro merch, and all the other merch that we got dropping. I take pride in writing and directing all my trailers. Like, that's where I have fun. The music stuff's fun, but that is where my creative, like, I really get excited for that. But, you know, not everybody's like that, which is no knock on anybody. Everybody's whatever, but that's why I just have fun with that part. And even like with this rollout, there was some stuff behind the scenes that kind of like made it take longer than it had to be. So ideally, I wouldn't have waited this long, honestly. But blessing and a curse. But regardless, I still took my time with it. Like, I was never in no rush to do anything.
How you talking about doing the merch and doing everything else? Artists that don't do anything with that, is that something that you've always done from the second you got into music? Would you say?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I always liked clothes, so.
I'm not even talking about just the clothes. The clothes, that's one thing. The clothes, I want to have a whole separate conversation about. But putting together trailers, dropping track lists, all of that stuff, is that something you did right away?
Yeah, for sure. Because me and Felix, like, we're from like we love that shit. Like, we love trailers, we love commercials, we love just fun shit. Making music's fun, but nowadays you kind of want the fans want to see what they're investing in, type of thing. Like, everything's intentional with VB. Like, I'm doing all these commercials where I'm showing some humor. Some of them are not even humor, just showing my creative side. You know, Felix, if you go on his Instagram, he's having a good time. He's surrounded around just beautiful humans and just having a good time. That's all intentional because it's a brand. People want to invest in your brand. Same thing for Luke. Like, Luke's always, Luke got his Converse or his fashion shoes or just getting fly on his gram. Me just having on the TikTok now. He's balling up. Like, all that is intentional. Like, it's a brand. Like put VB to the side. The Meech Bold brand, the Jiles brand, the Luke Bars brand. You want people to invest in your brand, and that's showing who you are as a human. Some people don't got to do that, and it works. Like, I don't know, like Yeet. Like, his brand is his mystique. Like, not knowing. Same thing for Cardi, kind of like not knowing. So everybody just try to just figure out what's your brand, and you can work for it. And like I said, some people don't know what their brand is, and that's okay. That's why you got to have a team behind you who could tell you or explain to you and how we're going to do it.
You're talking about the whole team element. That's something a lot of people don't have, but as much people don't have it, there is a lot of people that do have teams. But I'm assuming at one point, I mean, I don't even know. It sounds like you had just always been surrounded by creatives basically off jump, but I was going to say some point you probably were by yourself, you wanted to get into stuff, and you didn't have that creative circle. Or at least to the gratitude or degree that you have it now. You didn't have that creative circle. But having so many creatives around you, people to bounce ideas off of, also people to just help you do stuff. That whole element of shit, I just want you to talk about how impactful that's been and why you recommend other people should be doing the same thing.
I mean, it's a blessing that I've been around so many creative people post, like, high school. Just becoming friends with my boy Moses or Shelby or Felix. It was Rui. It was just a lot of us fresh out of high school just create. I wasn't even really creative in that sense at the time. I was like, it's on some, like, I wouldn't say reckless shit, but I just wasn't like on that shit like they were like that. But eventually I got into it. I just knew I liked the music. But it's unfortunate too that, like, I get it. Some people don't have that system. They don't have a team. And the only thing I can say to that is just continue to make music. They'll find you. People find you. Like, I tell people, like, yo, and looking for me, like, bro, a manager will find you, bro. Don't go looking for a manager. A manager will find you. Somebody who's really creative, a videographer will find you. An engineer will find you. Just continue to make good shit. And if you're making good music, it's not avoidable. Like, they're gonna find it. Like, people are gonna find it. As long as you're making good music, they're gonna find it, and they're gonna want to gravitate towards you. Now it's just a matter of who do you trust with your vision, because you can't do it alone. It's really hard to do this music shit alone. Damn near impossible. So for the people who don't have a team, it's corny to say, but you just gotta put your head down and keep working and make good music until the time comes.
You're talking about that, putting your head down and just keep working. I've been forgetting to ask people this, but I used to always love asking people this question. With those moments, as a creative, it's a fucking roller coaster. I don't give a fuck how successful anybody is. You could be the number one artist. From what I've seen from this shit, it doesn't matter what level you're at. This shit is a fucking roller coaster, bro.
Facts.
But those moments where you're just, everyone goes through creative blocks. Everyone goes through ruts where they sort of fall out of love with shit X, Y, and Z. Because I feel like once the whole business element comes into something that you're so passionate about, it just gets weird. But in those moments that you have your lows, what keeps you going, and how do you sort of cope with them and deal with them?
We all have our lows. I mean, man, it could be anything. It could be the gym. It could just be just watching just a documentary, watching TV. It could be shorty. It could be anything. I don't press. That's the thing. I don't press. Like, if I get a writing block or whatever you want to call it, like, then I have it. Like, I'm not forcing myself to record something. Like, I've gone months without writing music. I mean, no one should be doing that at all. Even if you're going through a writer block, you should not be going months without writing music. But I just let it come to me. Usually a beat gets me out of it, a studio session, something small like just writing a verse. And half the time I don't even notice when I get out of it. It's just like I'm deep in it. I'm like, oh shit, I'm writing music again, type of stuff. Like, it's when I force it is when I know I be making like the trash shit, or like nothing comes from anything.
Damn. Yeah. What do you feel like your longest period of writer's block has been?
Probably months.
A couple months.
Yeah, a couple months.
You've never been through like a year-long period?
Nah, no year long. It's been months, but that's just more like, ups and downs of life. Usually it's more personal stuff that causes it, and just, having to get your shit in order, taking a reset from stuff and stuff like that. So usually my writer's block pertains to stuff like that. But yeah, never that long.
I want to backtrack a little bit. You said you were in the clothes too, but what came first, the clothes or the blogs? And how did you get into the blogging first? And what else did you do if there was other creative stuff you did? Because I'm curious how I had no idea you did blogs until that interview we did with you 3 years ago. But I'm curious how you went from that to being Jiles. This Jiles.
I talk about this story a lot. I mean, as far as the clothes go, I wasn't too heavy. I'm not gonna say I was heavy. I was around a lot of people in the clothes. So I used to put that shit on when I wanted to, though. No bullshit. So I was just around Felix and Mo, Rui. We was just, always in Back Bay, downtown, just around, just cool energy type shit. Just walking down Newberry, going to a bodega, like, type shit. No one did music at that time. We're from Brockton, so motherfuckers ain't know us. But if you see a motherfucker a bunch of times, you're gonna start to dap them. Then from there, you build some connections as far as just friendships. So that's how I was. I never wanted to be a rapper. Like, to this day, like, I rap. I want to rap. I want to be a rapper, but that was never my goal growing up. I wanted to be, like I said, I used to just watch a lot of stuff, my brothers, all that. And I wanted to be an music exec, a manager. I wanted to do that stuff growing up. Damn. Like, that was my goal. So when I started a blog, it was just because there was a good time during the scene when, like, Stiz was starting to come out. Suffolk County was about to drop. Avenue dropped. I think it's called Chandelier View. Latrell dropped 12. It was just a lot of heat. Vintage was coming out. Lino was coming. These are just some good names I'm naming. So I'm like, they need like I said, I always wanted to exec, manage, but I respected writing. Like, I knew about Elliott Wilson, right? Famous writer. I knew about Andrew Barber from Fake Shore Drive. I'm like, I want to do that. Like, I want to make a blog that's catered to us, like Fake Shore Drive does with Chicago. So that was the premise going into making One Van at the time. And, it lasted for like 3 years. It didn't fall off. It just stopped because I didn't want to blog anymore. It was just a lot of time consuming. People who blog know, like, you got to have that laptop up 7 in the morning. Like,
goddamn.
If you feel me, you don't want to be, if Christmas drops a fucking single, I didn't want to wait 6 hours to put it up. I want to put it up like right away type shit. But then that's when I was transitioning to making music, and VB was trying to do some more stuff. So I had to like put that to the side. But I feel like I'm going to bring it back, not in the sense of a blog. I'm just bringing that company back, and I'm going to just do some big things with that too. I just need the capital first. But that's how I really got into it, the blogging. I just felt like we needed a voice to highlight like the talent. And nobody was really doing that for us. It's
crazy because I saw an interview you did with Millie's way back then.
Yeah. A lot of these motherfuckers don't even remember that. Well, they remember the interview, but they didn't know it was me. Yeah. Because, God rest her soul, Sabrina, she'll do the interviews. Then we had Lenny, who's our director. And then we had my brother type shit. So me and Sabrina would just write the questions down or just whatever, listen to the music. But I was always in the back. Like, I always been a person in the back type of thing. So, like, a Bia or Millie's, I don't really got brought up to any of them. So they probably wouldn't even know. They'll probably know my brother or Sabrina. I was just the one. Yeah, I was just vibing. Like, I ain't need to do all that. Like, to be honest, like, I didn't need gratification for it. Like, my gratification was just having a good interview. The interview went well, happy about it. Type of thing. Like, one of my favorite interviews we did was with J-Rock. He was, I think he dropped 90059, I believe. He was doing, we did a meet and greet and we did an interview with him, and that was fire. But yeah.
I didn't even know that was one of the.
Yeah, man, we interviewed a lot of people.
That's fire as fuck, bro. I heard through the grapevine that the whole Van Buren concept kind of stemmed from that, and then something about Seinfeld. I forget.
Nah, Van Buren just came strictly from Seinfeld. One Van and Van Buren I know it has Van in it, but it was no.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I heard that wrong. But it came from Seinfeld.
Yeah, this Seinfeld Van Buren Boys, an episode. Me and a friend of mine were big fans. Then this is before Luke and all the other rappers came in. It was just me, Felix, Shelby, Mo at that time, and it wasn't a group. We wasn't a group. We were just friends. Type of shit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like. Nothing more, nothing less.
It seems like VB almost like happened by accident. Not by accident, but if you know what I mean. Like, it seemed like it was just a group of friends just chilling, and it just turned into something bigger.
It's one of those things we speak about from time to time. Usually when we hit an accomplishment, we talk about shit like that. Like, it's just kind of like God-given or just etched in stone. Like, it was supposed to happen. Because not everybody linked up as friends. It was just, we had pieces of people who were friends with other people and just all came together and became friends. Type of shit. Like E.T. being really good friends with Invader and then bringing Invader along. Then everybody just loves Invader.
That's crazy.
Type of shit. Like, it would be stuff like that.
What has that whole process been like, just seeing the overall growth? Because, I mean, literally, it was the four of you guys starting everything off. And how deep are you guys in the collective? Like 13, 14?
Right now, yeah, we're pretty deep. What was the first part?
No, I was just saying watching the growth of it overall because, I mean, the OGs, you're the OGs.
Yeah, I mean, even then, I don't even really want to say OG in a sense, man. Everybody's just, we're all friends. Like, me and Luke or me and Ricky relationship ain't big brother, little brother. Like, it's not. It's just generally just a friendship. Like, he could yell at me as much as I yell at him about something. It's not like I'm going into it trying to, like, give him game or something, because I'm learning just as much. I'm learning at the same time he's learning about this industry. Same thing for Meech or E.T. They're learning as much as I learn about this industry. So it's like, but seeing everybody's growth is great. You know, everybody just fresh out of high school to maybe now, just seeing them mature as a human, their music getting better, their concepts getting better, their styles getting better, just everybody's getting better in every aspect of life. That's definitely rewarding to see.
Who do you feel like you've seen grow the most? Hopefully nobody gets mad at this, but like did anybody come in and at first you were like, I'm not rocking with this shit 100%, but I rock with them as a person, and then you kind of just were blown away?
Everybody who's came in, it was like, usually when, we probably will not have anybody else be added in the group, but everybody who's been in the group was like low-key already in the group. It just wasn't acknowledged type shit, but if we're talking growth, I don't know about like from a human aspect, personality standpoint. I don't want to say all that, but
I'm talking about art, music.
Musically, I say like Invader, just because he was probably the newest in the group, and just seeing him like, watching him like first record to now, and how passionate he is about it. Like, he's recording every day. He records himself. He has a bunch of music. He knows what he wants, and he knows how he's going to do it. Whereas, I don't know, maybe like 2 summers ago where, like, he was barely on, well, he wasn't even on Bad for Press, but he was on Black Wall Street and still learning how to make music. Not in the sense of, like, he was trash or anything. He was always great right off the bat, but learning how to record himself better or knowing what programs he wants to use and stuff like that. So it's dope seeing it in real time. I guess I'll say that. Like, just seeing him develop fast in real time is kind of like spooky.
I always tell him I wish he never fucking switched his Instagram name from Home Invader, bro. That was such a dope Instagram name. And then I told him about that. He's like, I'm like, did you make a second account to save it? He's like, nah, bro, I'm going to go do that now. And then he went to go do it. And then he's like, bro, somebody took it. I'm like, I would take the name too. If I fucking if I was a dickhead, I would. But no, that he was the background character, bro. That's what I told him before, because I would just see him in all of you guys' posts. I would see him at shows and shit, and then randomly out of nowhere, one project, he just decided to fucking start rapping.
Yeah.
Bro, that is dope. You're around a lot of dope motherfuckers, bro. Everybody, I always hate associating you guys together in a sense, because I always want to give everyone their individual props and not constantly bring up the fact of the group. But I can't not, because you guys are all great people.
For
literally.
sure.
Every single one of you guys, insanely creative, insanely good art overall, and then also, too, just as humans, you guys are just good people. Art aside.
Yeah,
like art aside.
That's another thing I want to stress, too. Like, if you ask any of us, if you have questions or just anything, you could talk to us. I know a lot of people be hesitant. Like, they'll talk to me and be like, bro, I didn't know you was going to be like that. It's like, bro, like, I'm not saying I'm not the big bad wolf, bro. Like, if you have advice, if you have questions or you need advice, like, not even on some, like, I know everything, because I don't want to come off like that at all. I'm learning just as much as the next person, I swear to God. But don't hesitate to hit me, bro. Like, I'm trying to work, too. I'm trying to work with all these artists as much as I can. If they need anything, they can always holler at me. Like, same thing. If I could reach out to someone, I hope they can help me as much as I can help them. But, yeah.
Bro, one thing I'm going to say off of that, I know I've said it. I don't know if I've said it to you individually, but I know Meech, I literally, me and Meech went through a period where we were talking like every day for the past like couple of weeks until the past week. But I was just telling him like how much I appreciated you guys. When we were first starting out, we didn't have shit. And then my cousin put me on to you guys. He's like, bro, if there's anyone you got to get hip to, it's Vintage Lee and Van Buren. 2 of them you got to get hip to. And then PJ coincidentally met ET at his job, and that lined up. But just reaching out to all of you guys, like, we were literally like nothing at that point. We were just a bunch of kids running around with a fucking camera, didn't have anything established, and you guys were just so willing to give us a chance, let us do the interviews and shit, and I'm beyond appreciative of that. I know I've told Meech about it. I think I've even told Mbeda, even though Mbeda I never did an interview with, but I've told people individually, but I want to say it for the record. I'm beyond appreciative of that shit,
of course. I mean, but you showed early glimpses of, like, commitment.
I appreciate that.
Like, you was making merch, like hoodies, wristbands, stickers, and you was just starting. And it's like, let's be honest, bro. You probably spent more money than what you made.
Oh, 100%.
So it's like, we understand that. It's like, okay, he's financially because once you put money into something, it's like all right, they're gonna have to be committed to it if they're gonna put this much money into something. And you guys had a couple interviews out at that time, and it looked legit, and I knew you guys really cared. So I can't speak for anybody else in the group, but like I know for a fact that's what made me attractive to the DOD. So
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. You just brought up a very good question though, talking about the money aspect of it. All the artists out here, or just creatives in general, that they think that they're gonna get to where they want to be without investing $1 into themselves.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Not tough. I don't knock it. I don't knock it because there's times where if I could get something for the cheap,
100%.
I'm gonna go for it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, but I need it to be as good as possible. If I get it for the low, but I can get really good results, I'm always go for that. But yeah, like you said, there's a lot of artists who you're just gonna have to invest in yourself. I mean, I used to say music videos, but nowadays music videos ain't really a big deal as now. But if you want to put some money into something like the marketing, I'm still learning about the social media aspects and how to, YouTube shorts, TikToks, knowing everything is really like 5, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Like I'm still learning like that, but people should want to invest in that. It's fucked up to say if you're not that type of person. Shit, a camera just for you so you can daily vlog. Like people want to, if you really want to be a rapper, like you're gonna have to make those type of sacrifices, type of shit. I'm not saying you gotta fucking dance on TikTok, but you gotta let like your fans know that you're active. Like I'm outside, like you gotta let them know that type of thing.
So many people sleep on it, bro, and it's sad.
I sleep on it. I don't even be using it like that, but it's funny because I was just I had a talk with like Meech and Luke because they're probably the most on it out of everybody in the group. And it be going out like one in out the other. I ain't gonna lie because I don't really be on that shit, but it needs to be done. Like I'm already thinking of ideas type of shit. Like, but that's a sacrifice you got to make to be an artist. If you depend on what kind of artist you want to be. Like I want to expand my reach, so I'm gonna have to do that type of shit.
What kind of artist do you want to be? I know that's a loaded question, and that's not necessarily direct. But if there's any comparable people that there's like a position that they're in that you could say, because you saying the whole exec thing, you wanted to bring back the blogs and stuff. Seems like you have a very specific idea of where you want to be in the industry already.
Yeah, my goal was hella like fantasy, like early on, like past couple of years. I want to be the greatest of all time. Do the arenas, and it's like I still think I could do stuff like that, but that's not my goal. Like I don't want it to say like I'm minimizing my worth, but right now, like with the way the industry is and stuff like that, what everybody needs to do is look in the mirror and be like, what do you want out of hip hop? And what are you willing to do to get out of it? What are you willing to do to get out of it? And it's like, for me, I just want to be in a situation where I don't have to work a day in my life because music is funding it. I don't want music to be my number one source of income, though, at the same time. So I want to have other things in the process where rap money is like my third source of income. So there's that. I just want to be heard, honestly. Like, that's my biggest thing, like, the reach. Like, I want people to just hear the music. Like, even if you don't think it's the greatest, I just want you to just hear the music. Like, and I want, like, a damn near perfect discography. Like, that's my biggest goal. Like, quality over quantity. Like, if I could have, like let's see, like Kendrick, like Scarface, like, just, like, no bad albums on their discography, bro. Like none. Like that's my goal. Like, yeah. So those main things.
Are there any songs or projects out that you would say you kind of feel that way about already? Like, you're like, damn, why did I drop this? Or do you feel like everything you have out right now?
No, so the way I approach this album, I was actually thinking about it, but I'm not. I was actually thinking about just like deleting the other two projects I did like 3-4 years ago. Not because I didn't like it, but I just feel like they're great albums. Like I know that's why I said I want a perfect discography. It's like I think those are perfect tapes, but I feel like that was just so early into my music career type of thing. It's kind of like when you like other artists, like there's a lot of artists you like who like you never heard their mixtape that got them popping locally. Like you hear like bang, you hear that, but you didn't hear the project. The 3 other 4 projects that are not on social, are not on streaming platforms anymore. You don't see that type of thing. So I look at this album as I approach this album with the sense of I was a new artist. Like I'm no bigger than the next artist. Like I didn't come into this project like, yo, I'm doing House of Blues. Like I didn't go into this project like, yo, I'm doing Paradise. Like I took it as like I'm a new artist. No one knows me. Like I'm open to do whatever venue if it makes sense. Like that's how I approach this album in like my mindset. So it's like I have no ego at all when it comes to making music, because I feel like this album was my first album. Like I really look at it as my first album.
Talking about performing, building your overall stage presence, because I don't even know, bro. All you VB motherfuckers I've seen perform more than anybody, so I don't even know how many times it's been. But I've seen you perform a lot. Obviously, you're always energetic as fuck. And then also, too, what's that show? You got a show with Stiz coming up.
Yeah. Stiz the Commonwealth Festival. That's Cousin Stiz Festival. September 16th. I will be performing there. Me and Villain, this will be the first show we've done since the tape drop. We haven't performed at all. But I make music. I like to make music with the sense of performancing in mind as well. So like, I could write a song and I'd be like, okay, this is gonna sound good when I perform it. I'm gonna make sure I mute the bar on this, or this gives me time to rest, or just the way I can move. Like, I damn near know all my lyrics to the album. I do already, but because I'm practicing at home performing type of thing. Like, I started off as a bad performer, but once we started doing the VB shit, like, you doing all those performances, like, you just get better over time type of thing. When you're on tour, like, you figure out, okay, I like that way. Next day, you try a different way. Okay. I feel like it's kind of like stand-up, too. Like, you know, you could do a bit that doesn't work. Then you know, all right, throw that away. Then you do some new material. The next night, it hits. You're like, okay, I'm going to keep that. Like, so it's like that with performing from my end. It's like, okay, I'm going to say this. Because we have some background vocals. We don't have background vocals throughout the song. You may have it on the hook, and maybe a couple lines or two on the verse. So a lot of it, like, is memorization, obviously. Yeah. And some fans like that, don't knock them. Some people don't like it. I do it the way I want to do it, so I don't really use too much background vocals. So I try not to sound like the song in a sense, but I like to play with it and just see what works with the crowd. I've been working out, so the breath control's getting better. Utilizing the whole fucking stage. You don't want to be on one side for so long. You don't want to have your back towards the crowd. Crowd engagement. You don't want to talk too damn long because they came to see you perform, not talk. So just a lot of things I keep in mind when performing. And just taking it serious. Like, they came to see a show, so I really want to give them a show. I'm my biggest critic. So I've had bad performances, I would like to think. But I think as time went on, I've been pretty solid in performing.
Did you have stage fright at first? This is kind of two questions in one. One, did you have stage fright at first? And then two, I want you, if you remember your very first time performing, that experience. And
I remember that. That's when I fucked up. Literally, it was Bams Fest. Me and Luke dropped 2 Sides EP.
I forgot about that EP.
Yeah, I want to say it was Bams Fest. It was a festival. And it was Luke's set, but he brought me out. I think we did like maybe 2-3 songs. Literally, he brought me out. I literally butchered the opening line. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. It's one of those things that's like you practiced it every day from weeks. But yeah, I still get nervous. But it's one of those things. It's like a not even movie. It's just like life. It's like as days get closer, you get really nervous. Day of, you're fucking nervous. But being nervous just means you care.
Yeah.
When people say that, that's like, bro, that's not you scared. You're not scared. You care. You care that much that you're nervous. But it's like the movies. It's like once Ricky's VB that nervousness turns into like game time. Like, all right, let's go. Like butterflies are gone. The beat drops. Nothing matters anymore. Like I'm not nervous. I'm not overthinking. Like nothing really matters. So like as time went on, I'll get really nervous. So like nowadays, like I'm ready from as soon as I wake up. A little nervous. You always have a little nervous, like, oh, what if I fuck up on the line? Some shit. But if you really put your craft in and you practice and you took it serious, you should be good. Like you should be good. But the butterflies are never gonna go away.
Yeah.
Type shit. Like I just play like I'll put on the headphones before like 30 minutes before. Play R&B, calm me down. Maybe take a shot, depending on how I want. If I want to take a shot or not, I'm ready to go.
Those moments that you did mess up, sitting there, I can't imagine being. This is why I'm so happy I'm not an artist. I forget who. I think it might have been Charlie again, even though I keep referencing that episode. We were talking about how we're so happy we're an artist because there's just so much pressure on you. And being an artist, there's so much shit that you got to deal with that if you're a behind the scenes person or podcaster or whatever, you don't have to deal with. But I'm assuming there was a good amount of people there that you messed up in front of.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people, it's funny though, a lot of people don't be noticing.
Really?
When you mess up. Like, you'd be like, yo, you just like, nah, I didn't peep that. It's like, if you.
Luke didn't even know?
No. We know. We know, and people who know. But, I've messed up. I mean, I messed up. Times I messed up, honestly, was probably like lack of preparation, not going over that specific song enough, or even just realizing your ego, like, yo, add more vocals onto that song, bro. Like, I know you don't want your background vocals, like, all over the tape, but all over this song, but you clearly can't get it. And you got 3 days, and you still haven't gotten it, like, or like, bro, you may have to put that song to the side and not perform it. So like, it'll be stuff like that. Every time I've messed up, it was like those reasons. And then there's honestly, there'd be a time or two where like, I mean, I don't mess up at all anymore. You know, knock on wood or concrete, but when I do, it's just more like it just got away from me. I don't get down on myself in a sense of I didn't try hard or I said, nah, some days you have it, some days you don't. And it's not like I'm messing like 3 bars. It's just you just slip up on the line and catch yourself right away. Like I said, it'll be so quick. You can say and get the line right. You're not really, the crowd's just, and they're not really noticing it. Like you fucked up in a sense. Especially if you got like your niggas on stage with you, they're doing your vocals too in the sense. So all that shit going on, so they don't even peep it.
Talking about going on tour though. Actually, no, before, I want to ask you the tour question after. The whole preparation element of it, because every time you guys got a show, I see the videos of everyone rehearsing and stuff. I feel like a lot of people don't be doing that. A lot of people just go to the venue day of, do a quick little sound check, and that's it. But did you always go about doing that where you had rehearsals, you had X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, no, we've always rehearsed, like always. Individually, everybody always rehearse. I mean, in certain cases, you know, a lot of newer age artists, they have their background vocals, so they don't really have to rehearse. Yeah. It's like, you know, your record's playing, you're just dancing, having a good time, and that's cool. But certain artists who don't have that, their background tracks, like, you got to rehearse. So we've always rehearsed. Like I said, we take it serious. We don't want to look like goofies up there performing. So from day one, like literally from day one, we've always rehearsed. Everybody got rehearsed. Like, even if you know your songs, you still should want to rehearse. Like, I got rehearsals probably sometime this upcoming week. I got to book it. And I know my lyrics, but I'm still going to rehearse it because I want to perform it live in front of a mirror. I want to get the sequencing down with Villain. Like, yo, this is how we're going to get on stage. This is how we got this amount of time on stage. I want to talk for this much. I want this song to play. I only want a hook for this. Let's do something that's not even on the album in a sense of, like, just to throw people off. Let's just incorporate this. And, like that's stuff, like, I want to do. Like, I take pride in that. Because it's like, I'm on the same stage with Stiz, Christmas, Tony Snow, Buddy. Like, I want to make a statement too. So it's like I got to take that shit serious. So just prep. You got to prep.
How many times would you normally rehearse before you have a show?
It depends on like I said, but this is my first. Well, I did the Bone Thugs solo. Bone Thugs. I opened up for them last year, but
That's fire.
thank you.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I was fire. I fucking killed that shit.
That's fire.
Like I was really excited for that one.
Inner child was probably happy as shit.
No, I would say I really wasn't. I didn't really bump Bone Thugs like that growing up.
Really?
Yeah, I ain't even gonna lie. I knew their classic songs, but I don't know their catalog. Yeah. But they asked me to perform, open up. It was like a 30-minute set, so I did that. This show I'm about to do is like a 15-minute set, so it's not too long. So the preparation isn't as intense. But it's still as serious. The repetition, it's still gonna be there. I'm still finalizing what I want to do. But yeah, that's how I'm coming with it. Just it's my first solo performance with new music.
Yeah,
new music. So even when I did the Bone Thugs, I still had to do some VB songs in there, some old records type stuff. But this one is all new songs that I've never performed. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, that's fire as shit, bro. That's fire as shit. I want to ask you though about the whole tour element, because I was about it before, but I mean, last year was your guys' first time doing Bad for Press. You guys did a tour.
We toured for.
But I mean, well, that's even better. You got a couple of different experiences under your belt, but going on tour for the first time and then doing it a couple times now, the overall lifestyle of it, the work that it takes to do that, and just the actuality of what it's actually like, because a lot of people try to gas it up and not talk about the bad parts about it, but just the good and the bad. I want to know just what it's like from your perspective.
I mean, we haven't done any crazy sets, dates. We've done 3, 4 days, 4, 5 days ones. So there's that. So my knowledge ain't as advanced as anybody else, but I would say the good thing is you kind of get better as the tour goes. The first tour. Well, when I mean by the first venue you do, you just first time performing it, you're like, ooh, the crowd didn't like that song or didn't know that song. Maybe we don't do that song when we go to this place. Or New York, they like rap, so for VB they like rap. Let's do Foxy Brown. That's 8 verses on it, back and forth battle, right off Black Wall Street. Okay. We go to LA. We got a lot of women fan base in LA. We're gonna do Go. We're gonna do Girls Wanna Have Fun. We're not gonna do
interviews.
We're not gonna do no interviews, Jump Street. Just knowing what city likes and what. There's no bad. Well, the only bad is you're away from home and it's just fast paced. You don't really have time to really have time to enjoy it, saving a moment, because you're just so locked in. We have a show Philly, but the next day we have a show in DC. There's no room to go out, and not even go out, just acknowledge what we just did. It's you're on to the next one. You want to take care of your voice, so try not to drink, try not to yell. Everybody's gonna want to talk to you after the show. You're still in a loud ass venue. Try to preserve your voice. If you can, just dip. Go back to the hotel if you can. Learn your mic. Every fucking sound guy, even if you gotta threaten them, you do. It is what it is. Let them know how you like your mic. If you like it really loud, some people's voice ain't loud, so you want to raise your mic if you have to, I guess. Just preparation, bro. You want to be not bothered while on tour, so you really want to get everything situated in advance.
You have any stories of everything going horribly wrong? I feel like you guys are organized enough. You don't.
Yeah, nothing's ever horribly went wrong on tour. Yeah, nothing never. Nah. The funniest thing though was when we did the Bad for Press show at Paradise. Literally our first show at Paradise, the first one. That was a big one. Yeah, we sold that bitch out.
That shit was
Andrew's laptop crashed. We came out. Damn, what's the first song on Bad for Press? That little sample. Yeah.
Felix says some shit about I'm gonna put your ass in riding through the projects.
Yeah, Luke starts off.
I forget the fucking name. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, we came out to that. We finished it. Laptop crashed. Luckily, he had a hard drive with him, and he just put it on. He just put it in. But we did that song, and we didn't get to perform for another like 2-3 minutes while he was fixing it. But other than that, and it worked, and we ready to go. But other than that, we never really, nothing never went wrong on stage. We never like, yeah, I don't even know what that even means.
Nah, just like fucking sometimes fuck shit with the venue. I've had mad crazy stories.
Oh, no, I mean, we had like bad mics where like when I was sharing 1 mic, 2 mics, but yeah, nothing really crazy.
You guys' energy, bro, be fucking crazy. I remember that show vividly. I remember the warehouse show was low-key more fun. The Bad for Press release party.
Oh, the release party.
The release party. I don't know. Like, I love the Paradise show, too, but something about that release party was just like...
Oh, yeah, that was a special moment because that was like... Everybody was waiting for us to drop, and that was just like our, like, we're here moment. Like, we're here. Like, we just dropped this big-ass fucking album for the state, and everybody came to Plainville, Massachusetts to just hear the album type of shit. Like, it was fucking hookah in there. Like, it was just a great fucking vibe that night.
Vibe and a half, bro.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That was a legendary fucking night. When they start making movies about everything that's happened in the scene and shit, that got to be one of the things in there, bro.
Yeah, that was a great time.
Talking about that, though, overall Massachusetts scene, because, I mean, you were talking about it. You were doing the Millies, the BIA interviews, all of that shit. But just seeing overall growth, I mean... It's probably a night and day difference from when you first started becoming aware of everything around here. But what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think the new scene is pretty good. I think above everything, they have more camaraderie. Everybody's really friends with each other. Everybody is helping each other jump on everybody's songs. So I definitely like that. I like that there's a lot of shows going on. It's like every week I see something going on. Whether it's that, well, they just shut down that other venue.
Middle East?
Nah, that big ass, there's like mad rooms in there. I went there twice.
Friend Street?
I think it's that.
I think it's Friend Street you're talking about.
Yeah. Then Exit Gallery's been doing some stuff. So just seeing everybody just work is really dope. Like, I'm excited to see what happens next. Like, and everybody's so young, like, on the upcoming scene. So they got a lot more time to grow and figure their stuff out. So I'm excited to hear what everybody has to offer.
Who's somebody outside of your immediate circle that you would say you've been a supporter, and not even necessarily a supporter, but someone that you've just been aware of for a while, that you've seen their growth, that you're just utterly impressed by?
Everything is still new, so there's no one who I can say I've seen their growth because I'm still learning. But artists I really like, I like Tomo. I just like Tomo as a person.
Tomo's mad cool, bro.
Yeah, like he supports everybody. Like he podcasts, he makes clothes. I think I seen him DJ on Instagram the other day. I didn't even know he did that. He produces, he raps. Like, he's curating events. Like, that's just somebody, like, the city, like, needs to hold dearly, in my opinion. Like, that's somebody, like, he needs, like, to be championed. And then, I mean, just seeing how he is as a human, he probably will feel uncomfortable with me saying that, but I just feel like he's so talented as just a human and just being a cool person that, like, he needs more attention.
I agree with that.
Let's see. I like Retro. I'm a big fan of Retro.
Shout out Retro. Go stream our fucking album, Retro. All the songs Retro's on are some of the highest streaming right now.
John of Blank. Let's see. Evola.
He's gonna get mad you said it like that.
Bro, I hear people say Evla. I hear people say
Bro,
Evla.
I've done that. I did this, bro. When he worked here, the
My
first
apologies.
2 or 3 months, bro. I was calling him Evola. And then he one day he was like, "Dude, I've told you my name's Evela like 30 times. And you still call me."
I ain't
Evela.
ever hear anybody say Evla.
It's Evela, bro. He probably just hasn't corrected you, but I remember I was saying it wrong for that.
Evela. I fuck with Evela outside of VB. Swizzy, he's on my album. Fire.
I didn't even know he was from Mass, but I like.
Roxbury. Yeah.
I like this shit.
I seen him perform. Invader had a show, and it was mad acts. He was one of the acts. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker fire. And that's when I just took note. Nay Speaks, fire. Her album's fire. I ain't gonna say I know all the songs, but I think like the first song is like probably my favorite on that album.
I gotta listen to that. So.
Yeah, Nay, fire.
There's so many.
Yeah, there's just really so many, bro. Like a lot of talented acts. Like shout out to Harold, shout out to the whole DNA crew. Like I'm just learning these new artists every day, bro. Like I be looking, I haven't watched any, but there be times where like the Chamber will do these events, and I'll just be, who's this? I don't know this person. Type shit. Dana fire, Sosa's fire. Like, yeah, so many, bro.
Sosa got a different energy, bro. She out of like the newer people, she's one of the people that popped up this year that just kind of came out of nowhere type shit and was just like, what the fuck?
I like her energy. I like the energy she brings. Like her whole just aura's fire.
Literally. Shout out to you for fucking making me aware of Bori too. And Bori, I've said this because every single other person has talked about you on a podcast. I've been trying to get you on here for like a year or two, and you wanted me to pay you. I'm not paying you, but I want you to get on here. But you introduced me. I don't know if you remember. You played us. Damn, I just realized the past 2 projects you dropped, I heard early. You played us, It's Not Much, But It's Mine, me and PJ. And Ken.
Yep.
You played us that early, and I remember you were just like, bro, this dude, Bori, he's locked up right now, but I'm telling you, when he gets out, he's fired, blah, blah, blah. And I got hip to him and like looked at some of the stuff that he had out then. Did he even have music out before?
Yeah, he's always had music out.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, he started ramping up like around that time.
Out,
yeah.
But no, I just wanted to say thank you for introducing me to him because that motherfucker, his music's fire, but personality-wise, bro, that's why I've wanted to get him on a podcast so much. That dude got so much energy. Like,
oh yeah, all of them, bro. The whole team, they're just. They all got their own personality, their own type of rapping. It's fire.
How is it seeing the other collectives?
Oh, dope. I mean,
you guys are all cool with each other too.
Yeah. Feed the Family, they're the homies. Buddy, Dunny, Shake, like Top, like Fire, Rebel Mafia, Super, Sav, Kai, just Frank, all them, they're all homies, bro. I just fuck with all of them. I just fuck with good music, honestly. Like it's no problem to just hit them up and just make music or whatever like that. Like seeing all them blossom, with fire, EV.
You talk to Frank a lot?
Not really. No, right. I mean, usually through like the DMs and shit.
I was gonna say if there's any stories for camera, the most wreck shit he said to you, because that motherfucker is funny.
Oh nah, he good wreck. He good wreck. I don't have no stories.
That motherfucker is funny as shit, bro. That dude is funny as shit. Who? I think I asked Meech this. Who would you say the funniest person out of VB is?
So there's so many levels of funny, bro. Like. You
guys gotta have somebody.
Probably Ricky.
Comedy.
Nah, Ricky's like probably the funniest. Like I said, it's like Ricky is the funniest. Like when it comes to like texting and shit, like the memes and GIF. Shelby's hilarious. There's nobody who's not funny.
That's what makes
yeah. No one's not funny. Like everybody's just hilarious. We're fucking comedians, bro. I think that's why it works too, because we don't take shit serious enough. If you ask me, everybody agrees in the group, but you just be vibing, bro. Like we don't be just like we just be having fun.
One thing I want to ask you about, because we be having our own struggles with this over at DOD, trying to keep the business element going where you guys want to constantly be improving everything. You want to be making sure shit's getting done. But then on top of that, trying to maintain the friendships. Because everyone always says it. They're like, don't get in business with your friends. But in music, it's kind of different because it's more authentic when you do it that way. But those moments where it's like, all right, we got to get something done, and then someone's fucking around, how do you guys sort of separate when it's on business timing and when it's friendship time? Or do you guys just not do that at all? Like,
everybody just knows. Like, we hold everybody accountable. Like, even on their own individual shit. Like, that's probably the best thing about VB. If we think someone's half-assing it or doing a bad job at something, even if it's their own work, we're going to be like, yo, bro, you shouldn't have done it like that. And whether you disagree or not, it's still going to be said. So when it comes to the group stuff, everybody kind of has to be locked in. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own voice, of course. And we just try to, like, because we understand, like, damn, that's the label. Like, we got to bring our best foot forward. We got to present some real shit, not no bullshit. Because, you know, everybody has their own solo brand, too. So, you know, obviously you want to make sure your solo stuff is taken care of, too. So there's that. But we do a good job on checking people in the group on, like, bullshit, like, me included. Like, from top down, everybody, no one's afraid to say anything. It is what it is. It's a business, bro. Like, management say it all the time, bro. Like, this ain't 2020, bro. Like, there's potentially money behind this. There's people who are gonna get let down because of you guys. Like, can't be playing around like that, bro. Like, so we know what's at stake. Yeah. So it's nothing personal to tell somebody what it is.
How are you at taking criticism? And did you ever have a point where you were closed off to it completely?
Nah.
You never did?
Nah. I could take criticism. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I don't get criticized as much, probably. I mean, when you say criticized, like
just the homies being like, oh, you could have done this better, whatever, because you have a bunch of people that
Oh, yeah, no. I don't take it personal. There's times where, like, I mean, we all check ourselves. And we will admit if we, like, me personally, I'll admit if I don't have a good verse. I'll say, I'll be like, take my verse off, or I'll be like, yo, let me take this home and write it. But, like, from a music standpoint, we all take constructive criticism, because especially on the group aspect, because it's like we want to make the best song. So it's like, yes, you know, we can't have everybody in the group on every song. So certain verses got to get kicked off or whatever. But it's just knowing you as an artist and just holding that mirror and be like, yo, come on, bro. Like, we're not stupid. Like, there's no reason why I should be on this song. I know I laid a verse, but I got the weakest verse, or my verse doesn't fit this overall song. The concept doesn't even match. So we know how to acknowledge that before any of us could tell us that. So
self-accountability.
That's the word.
Self-accountability is crucial. This, though, I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but just the whole experience. Was it the Go video you directed, or am I tripping?
No, I did God Talking.
God Talking, that. Yeah. But that whole experience, I remember swiping up and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I was mad impressed. I was like, yo, I did not expect that from you. But obviously you said you did the trailers, you made your own merch and shit like that. But directing a whole entire music video for the guys, what was that whole experience like?
It was dope. They trusted me at a budget. I just told them, like, yo, no one was talking about that song as far as doing the video. I was like, yo, if y'all want, I'll shoot a video for God Talking. And I think what made it cool was, like, I'm not on the song. I could have done a song that I'm on, but I'm like, it's not about that. It's like, what song resonates? And I was just at the gym, and I played the song like 20 times. I had a concept, told them, Luke and me trusted my vision. I sent them a trailer. Treatment. They approved it. I linked up with Fu. Me and him done a lot of my videos together. I told him my vision. He fucked with it. And we just rocking and rolling. I mean, he definitely gets co-directing credit for that. He had some shots in there that were his idea as well, type shit. So, but it was overall a great time shooting a video.
You seem like someone who's not scared to get out of your comfort zone.
Oh, yeah, nah. I'm back against the wall. I don't like it. No one should want to be in that situation. But I think I do pretty good in certain situations.
Do you feel like you're somebody who thrives under pressure, or do you like to have everything squared away more?
I thrive under pressure. I know that for a fact I do, but I don't like being in that situation. So I would like to get stuff done at a time. I think that all of VB, I feel like we all thrive under pressure, but that's one thing we're all learning to do individually and collectively, just getting everything is just set and ready to go.
Bro, we're coming up on the last couple of questions right now. I don't even know if you realize it's already been an hour and a half. Top always be flying down, bro.
That's all good.
I won't look at the timer, and then I look, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I'm in no rush.
But this one, I'm gonna ask a couple more afterwards. But
sure.
this one, you see all the rails and shit. I'm tired of asking this shit in the same exact way. Biggest piece of advice: any artist, they're starting out right now. They have no idea where the fuck to go. It's literally their first step into this shit. What would you advise them to do, and what would you advise them to absolutely not do?
All right. What I advise them, like they're just starting, like
they don't even got a song out. They haven't been to a studio, nothing.
If they could afford it, learn how to record themselves. It's coming from a guy who doesn't record himself. But if you can make some shit at the crib, please do that, because you'll be ahead of the curve. You don't gotta book no studio time. You could just you can make as much trash as you want at home, because eventually something might work and you're gonna fall in love with that sound. So that's the first thing I'll say. Just like invest in like a studio at the crib, or where you could just record as much as you can. Worst advice, the worst thing you could do. This is so much, bro. The worst thing you could do is trying to do it alone. Like, you need people to trust you, but when I say alone, you're not asking for critiques. You're not asking for advice. You think you got it handled. You think you know, when actuality you don't. So if there's people who believe in you, have them on a team. If there's other artists you fuck with locally, just be around them. I know how it is, bro. Like, certain rappers ain't gonna want to give you a feature because you're not popping. Your feature is not gonna help their career. Happens. It is what it is. But if that's the case, build real connections with people. Then the feature could probably come. As long as it's genuine. Go out. So-and-so artist is having an event, show face. So-and-so artist is doing this, show face. Eventually, you build that network. Yo, I'm Jiles, I rap. Oh, you got anything out? Nah, but I got some unreleased. I'll send you some. Bang. Yo, your shit fire, bro. We got to tap in, just connect. Bang. Next thing you know, you got a producer now. Just little things like that. You want to just be outside, and you just want to be a genuine dude, bro. Like, because there be some corny motherfuckers in the scene, too. So, like, you know how it goes, bro. There's corny people everywhere, but you got to weed all that out, find some good people, and from there, ready to rock and roll.
How do you advise people build a brand?
Say that again?
How do you advise that somebody builds a brand?
You got to figure out what you want. That's the first thing. You got, like we were saying earlier, is your goal to be Drake? Is your goal to be Currency? Two different types of artists, two different type of platforms. They stand for two different type of things. Once you figure that out, it's like, okay, now what do you want your brand to be? Are you naturally just a laid-back, chill person? You're not really in it? I was like, okay, fine. We can work with that. You can still work with that. Are you a person who's animated for the energy? We can work with that. Once you figure that out, it's like, okay, cool. Now you got to figure out what the platform is all around it for whatever artist. This current day, it's a lot of social media, branding. How are you going to do that? Do you have money? If not, you got to find a way. Keep your job. Shit, work more hours if you can. If you don't have a job, you better be outside. You better be doing something to fund this career type of stuff. And you have your team with you. Your team understands. Your team got to understand, too, because you're the brand. Like, your manager, should not try to be as big as you, your creative director, whoever's creating your videos and your style. They should know what you like and work from there and put their own sense into it. So when you create that brand, everybody's locked in on it. Like, we know, like, nah, that feature doesn't work. That doesn't work for his brand. You the homie, sorry, we can't do that feature. This doesn't work. Or I can't do this type of interview because that's not my brand. You know what I'm saying? Or like this type of song, I could put out a song once a week, every 3 weeks, because that's my brand. Or I could do a song once every 3 months because that's my brand. So it's like, once you figure all that out, then you could be unapologetic because that's your brand.
What do you think? Obviously, it's different for every single artist, but for you personally, marketing-wise, what would you say has been the most beneficial for you?
Just showcasing, no bullshit, it be showcasing just my creativity. For me, I think I get more success when people see behind the scenes stuff. Like seeing the work I put in behind the scenes. Because it's like you outside looking in, you see me, you see my music, see my video. I've seen that before. I know what this is. But then when I peel those layers back, open up them curtains, and you see what's behind there, it's like, oh shit, like he directed God Talking. Every video he's ever done for himself, he damn near made every treatment. He helps create his own merch. DSM merch, he did a whole like BMX theme. That was all
I forgot that you did that too.
Yeah, like, he does trailers. He does his own commercials and trailers. He writes them. He directs them. Like, oh shit, this man, like, he's more than just a rapper. So like, I feel like just showcasing stuff like that has really helped me in the marketing sense.
What do you feel like your biggest fuck up throughout your whole entire creative journey has been? If there was one thing that you could go back and you wish you could undo, but at the same time you don't want to undo it because you kind of needed the fuck up in that sense, what would you say? I know that's a tricky one.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to undo. I think the only thing is probably like, I could say rap earlier in my career, I guess, but there's really nothing I feel like I fucked up in because I look at everything as a learning experience. Like, I don't look at it as like, damn, bro, you dropped the fucking ball, you're an idiot. I look at it as like, usually if I do mess up on something, it's because I don't know. I didn't know anything going into it, or I didn't know that. And I possibly didn't have a way to find out. So then I look at it as, okay, next go around, I know what to do. So, like, there's no real regrets, honestly. Everything just came into place for a reason. I'll probably say maybe record more. I don't record a lot. Like, my recording process is different from most everybody in the group. Like, I record when I want to record. Like, I'm not recording every day type of shit. So I do need to record a lot more, honestly. So I'll say probably that.
What is this is going to be the second to last one, but I don't know how I forgot to ask you that. What is your recording process like? You walk into the studio, you have nothing, you don't got a beat, you don't got anything.
Usually when I go to the studios, I already have a beat. Like, this, the only time I don't was like if I'm working on an album. Like if I'm with Villain, he's making a beat in front of me and I write. But I'm from like, not even from, like I was used to just having to pay to record. So I would make sure I write 2-3 songs. Yo, I need 2 hours. Okay. So the sake of this convo, $60 an hour. Okay, that's $120. $120 could be a lot for a lot of people. I don't want to fuck up these next for 2 hours. So I'm going to write full songs, then book the session. In those 2 hours, I'm going to lay down everything as much as I can and be out. Like, I really got to make sure I do everything right. So when I record, I write first. So I'll write like, say I got 3-4 beats already. I write 3-4 songs, then I'll book the session. Hit up our old engineer, like, yo, let's get a session in for 3 hours. Bet. I already have 3 songs written. I'm just recording it, and I'm done. But, like, with Villain, that was probably the first time where, like, I'll come in with nothing type of shit. Like, yo, play some beats, play a beat. Like I said earlier, write a verse, record the verse. let's do another song because I don't want to get too attached to it. Like our first ever session for this album was a 12-hour session.
Damn.
Yeah, we did 6 songs. First song we did, trash. Didn't make the album, didn't like it. But the next song after that was Projects. Did Kobe Fro. Did the Quincy Hanley record. Did Glenn Rice. I probably did one more. That first session, like we did like 6 songs that night. None of them fully completed, but we did 6 songs type shit. Then I've taken home with me, finish the second verses, the hooks, next session record all that, same process type of shit. Like I don't really like going into my sessions with nothing personally, but I'm not opposed to it. If I have to, it is what it is.
Which way, if money's not involved at all, you going in there with Villain and being able to walk in like that, which do you prefer? Do you prefer having everything ready beforehand, or do you prefer just in the moment, just creating from scratch?
Good question. I don't know, because besides the Villain thing, I really still haven't done it. To be honest, I'm just more. I just like my personal space. So when Villain sends me a batch of beats, I could take my time. Like regardless, like even if he's making a beat in front of me, I'm still gonna do what I gotta do. But there's still a little bit of luxury. Some people are different, you know. So you've probably been in a lot of recording sessions. You see a motherfucker just jump in the booth and just do what they gotta do. I like to write personally, so if I could get a beat ahead of time, take my time, and just write, it's gonna be good. If I gotta do it the other way, it's still gonna be good too. But I would prefer to just sit on it and then give it to you. But lately, if I be doing features, with features though, I like to just pull up. Like doing features is not tough. I like doing features for people, but I'm more of a, like, yo, if we're gonna do a feature, bro, like just let me know when your session is. I'll pull up and write that shit in front of you and record it, type of stuff. Because I feel like, not catch me if you can, but like I just be so focused on my own stuff that when I do a feature, it's like, okay, I gotta be in front of you to do this. Because if you just give me the beat, I'm gonna take forever to really like give that back to you. Just because I'm working on my own stuff, or I just got my own shit going on. But if you have me physically in your presence, I'm gonna do it. Type shit. Like I just did a record with Mackie from that collective. I don't want to mispronounce.
I keep hearing about this, bro. Why are there just people I keep hearing about? Someone was talking about him recently, and I thought they were talking about my boy Mackie. That's a producer. But somebody was just talking about this Mackie too.
Yeah, Mackie's fire. His whole collective is fire. He just dropped a new album the other day.
That's probably why people are talking about him.
Yeah, it's fire. Like I wasn't expecting the sound to sound like that, and it's really good. It's really good. I think he's close to cracking the code. I think he's like 2 projects away. Like this one was like, it's kind of like, not like it is this, but it's kind of like when you first heard Flower Boy by Tyler. It's like you see like there's something there. It's good. It's really, really good. There's something there. But then you hear Igor, it's like, okay, that's what that is. It's that, like, so I think he's like on that realm in a sense of, I'm not comparing him to Tyler anyway, but I'm saying like he's close. He's on to something, and he's really close. Yeah. So I'm excited to see what he does next. And like, I mean, I linked up with Devo. We're gonna make some music together. Devo's a great human. So yeah, I've just been out. I've been trying to work with people. Type shit.
Fucking. So last thing right here. Obviously, like I said, the project will be out already by the time this interview is out. But you got the project coming out. I don't know if you got any other tricks up your sleeve for the rest of the year, but 365 days from now, it is September 2nd, 2023. September 2nd, 2024. What are some things you want to have accomplished by then? Where do you see this project going? What are just overall, where's Jiles going in a year from now? What are some things you want to do for yourself? Personal growth, music growth, could be a whole bunch of things.
Sure. With this album, I feel like just doing more shows, more music will be dropped, like regardless. I took too long, 3 years, I'm not gonna do that again. So I'm probably gonna be dropping again. whether it's an album or singles. I'm gonna be dropping a lot of content. Year from now, hopefully, I may be not even living in Mass. We'll see how that goes. There's so much. I just building on top of this album. I feel like this album could be the stepping stool to what's next for me. So a year from now, I look at this album being the reason why I'm a bigger name. So I'm excited.
Hopefully, bro. I believe it.
It'll happen.
I believe it. It will happen. If you move from Mass, where you want to go?
It'll probably just be LA. If not LA, New York. I mean, I think Massachusetts, people think I be joking when I say I really think this is the best state in the country. I think Brockton's the best city ever. But, you know, certain situations you kind of got to go where the shit's at. Yeah. So, LA, New York, that's where the shit's at.
100%, bro. 100%. You got anything else you want to add on?
This interview will be out by the time the tape drop, but album of the year, Mookie Blaylock, produced entirely by Vinyl Villain. Best album in the country. I think me and Rilo Rodriguez got the best albums out. I don't think anybody's fucking with me out here in the music shit, but it's all healthy competition. If you feel otherwise, you are free to have your own opinion, but I just think my shit's just the best. That's no hate to anybody.
Respect for the confidence.
Oh, absolutely. You got to have it. I just feel like putting my body of work against the next person, I think mine just matches up better. And, you know, I don't care about the accolades or the numbers, all that. It's just who has
substance.
It's just better. But I fuck with everybody anyways. Like, it's not even on some shit. Like, I got mad features on my album type shit. Like, I'm excited for everybody to hear Swizzy on that shit. Because I think he's really young, talented artist. Happy to hear people hear Mari from 99 Neighbors out in Vermont. Those are the homies. Wahi, he's from Orlando. He fucks with Mari. Felix is on the album. Y'all gonna love his verse. Fucking Dunny, Feed the Family. I'm always gonna support Dunny because I think he's super talented, and me and Super make music all the time, so you already know how that goes. Type shit.
That project is fire. I've heard it already. You guys will hopefully have heard it already if you're watching this interview. But
you have a favorite song? I mean, I know you just heard it, so you probably know track titles.
That's the thing. I don't know the track titles, but there was one. I might have had. Is there one with no hook on it?
The ones with no hook are probably just freestyles.
Okay. There was one with no hook that I remember blowing me away a lot. I'm trying to think, bro.
I got the freestyles of the Glen Rice. That's out. You know that one. I got to Split the Bread. Free the Homies. Niggas stay firm. Him and his Cody. You don't know me. I got that one. And then I got Sauce Gardner.
Which one did you say the Van Cleefs and Aventadors?
Damn.
It might have been the first track.
Oh, it's Sauce Gardner.
That one. Yeah. That one was my favorite. That one I think was my favorite.
Yeah, shout out Sauce Gardner. That's my favorite corner.
That one, and then I think the one with Felix, and who else was on the one with Felix?
That's Beeper Buzzin'. That's Felix, Wahid, and Mari.
I think that those ones I liked. I don't know, bro. I liked everything.
Nah, a lot of
I liked everything. It's all
good. It's just a phenomenal body of work. Who was it? Someone was like, damn, I thought I was expecting like 6 songs. I was like, nah, what the fuck? Like, I told him, I was like, yo, it was like, someone said it in the comments. I'm like, nah, bro, I've been gone for 3 years. I can't give y'all 6 songs. Like, I'm way overdue. Would have been on my Chris Brown shit, give you 26 songs.
Thank God it's long, because if it was 6 songs, I would have felt cheated out on, bro. I would have felt like we were cut short.
Nah, facts. I mean, and it's a digestible time, though. It's like 38 minutes. 16 songs, 37 minutes.
I didn't even realize it was 16.
16 songs, but 2 are skits and 3 are freestyles. So it holds well.
No, the project is definitely fire. Anyone watching this, if you haven't streamed it, better stream that shit. I'm going to put the link in the description so everybody can find it. But, bro, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come on here. I appreciate you sending me the project early, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That shit was fire. But anybody watching this, just let them know real quick where they could find your music, where they could find you on social medias.
I'm on all streaming services, Jiles, Jiles. You can catch me on Twitter at Jiles, Jiles, Instagram, VB Jiles.
Damn. You got the OG Jiles name on Twitter?
Yeah, I worked hard for that. Quick story if we have time.
Yeah.
I was just Jiles with like 2 underscores or maybe 1 underscore. Then I found the original Jiles, and this is when I was doing 1Van at the time. So I DM'd him respectfully, like, yo, I was telling him why I wanted to make music. Good dude, bro. I don't know what happened to him, but we talked for like maybe like 3-4 months after that in the DMs. Because he was like, oh, I see you have a website. You doing? I was like, yo. I was like, yeah, for me. He's like, yo, I used to have a website for BMX, and he was like, yo, it's crazy. I gotta find it. He's like, yo, just promise me. Like, it was like on some shit like that. Yo, I'm gonna give this to you, but promise me like you don't stop, like doing what you're doing. Like, it was like this shit like that. It was like a middle-aged white man from like Indiana, bro. Like,
damn,
what the fuck? He just fucked with it because like it was like so uncanny,
so random.
Yeah, it was just like because the gist of it was he remembers when he was like that. Because this was years ago. Like, I remember when me and my friends were into BMXing, and like he's telling me like 1998 snowboarding, and like I'm snooping through your page, and I see that you and your friends are really like, this is really dope. Like, it was like as if he was living like his past through me, and like he gave me that shit. I was like, damn, that is a good fucking man.
That's crazy.
Type of stuff. But that's how I got that. I tried to get the Instagram one, politely hit up some middle-aged white woman, and she just blocked me. I was like, all right, that's uncalled for. like I really, bro, if I could find it, bro, it was really like, you know, like
you just
email type of, excuse me, hi, my name is Jiles. I just want, like, it was just really calm, bro. Like, damn, it blocked. I'm like, shit. Like, this is what we're doing, but I'm going to try to get that.
Hopefully you could snag it, bro. Hopefully you could snag it.
I need that.
Yeah. Fucking, you got anything else you want to add on?
Oh, nah. Just look out for everybody else. Everybody just more VB stuff, more solo stuff from everybody. So I'm excited for y'all to hear everybody. And September 16th, Commonwealth Festival, Seaport. Me and Luke going to DC, I believe the 22nd of September. That's fire. And I'm looking to do my own show too pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that.
Fire. Y'all know the drill. Everything he just talked about, tap in. You better stream the project. You guys also better be subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you're this far, you better smash the like button. Get all the corny YouTube shit out the way. But this been episode 77. I hope I didn't mess up the episode numbers the past couple times because I feel like I did. But I think next episode's Latrell, but I'm not entirely sure, so don't count on me for that. But y'all know the drill. Go follow Jiles. Tune in to next week's episode. Purple World, we out this bitch.
Big boss shit, I done some things I'm taking to the grave. I was just a jig on the East Public Housing raised. I ain't trying to fuck, I want the top, then I'ma fuck her face. My only meal for